एष देवो विश्वकर्मा महात्मा सदा जनानां हृदये सन्निविष्टः स्वराज्य साम्राज्य विभूतिरेषः भवत्कृपा श्रीमहिमप्रसादात् प्राप्ता मया श्रीगुरवे महात्मने नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमस्तस्मै सदैकस्मै कस्मै चिन्महसे नमः यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते. Let us chant a few verses from the beginning so that we don't forget whatever. From the first onward, just once we will chant. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramityabhidhijate etad yo vetti tam prahu kshetrajña iti tadvidaha kshetrajñam chapi mam viddhi sarvakshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetrajñayor jnanam yattajnanam matam mama tat kshetram yacca yadrikca yadvikari yatascha yat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shrinu rishibhir bahudha gitam छन्दोभिर विविधैः पृथक् ब्रह्मसूत्रपदैश्चैव हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितैः महाभूतान्यहङ्कारो बुद्धिरव्यक्तमेव च इन्द्रियाणि दशैकं च पञ्चचेन्द्रियगोचराः इच्छाद्वेषः सुखं दुःखं संघातश्चेतना धृतिः एतत् क्षेत्रं समासेन सविकारमुदाहृतम् अमानित्वमदम्भित्वम् अहिंसा क्षान्तिरार्जवम् आचार्योपासनं शौचम् स्थैर्यमात्मविनिग्रहः। Amanitvam, by the side of it, adambhitvam, dambha. Dambha means ostentation. This is both together. Actually, amanitvam is the inner part. It is completely inside, the feeling of prestige. And adambhitvam, the dambhitvam, dambha, is the showing, ostentation, means showing off. In Sanskrit it is called dharmadhvaja, that हम बहुत spiritual है. एक ध्वजा लगा दीजिए. ध्वजा मतलब फ्लैग. सबको जनान बोलने के लिए कि हम बहुत रिलीजियस हैं, बहुत स्पिरिचुअल है. ध्वजा, धर्म ध्वजा. तो सबको बोल देते हैं कि हम उनका डिसाइपल है, हम इनका डिसाइपल है. And it means arrogance also, this dambha, because if this ostentation, sometimes it turns into arrogance also. पूजा कर रहे हैं, पूजा कीजिए. पूजा तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल पूजा शुड बी डन विद इन. पूजा तो मन से करना है ना. अगर आप भगवान के प्रति सचमुच के उनके प्रति प्रेम है, तो आप तो मन से उनसे बात करेंगे, उनको आलिंगन करेंगे, सब मन में. आपको मन पूरा वो भगवान से भर जाना चाहिए. वी से देवो भूत्वा देवान अप्येति. देवो भूत्वा देवान अप्येति. दैट मीन्स योर देवा पूजा, किसी भी देव का आप पूजा कर रहे हैं, तो पूजा का आखिरी रिजल्ट है, जो उसका जो फल है, वो हो जाता है जब आप ही वो देव बन जाते हैं. कैसे आप देवता बन जाएंगे? सोचिए कि आप शिव जी का उपासना कर रहे हैं, तो शिव जी के आप बाहर से शिव जी बन जाएंगे क्या? शरीर शिव जी बन जाएगा क्या? नहीं. आपके मन इतना शिव जी के प्रति रक्त हो जाएगा. रक्त बोलते हैं ना, पूरा एकदम फ्यूज्ड हो जाएगा, लीन हो जाएगा. मन पूरा शिव जी में लीन हो जाना चाहिए. जैसे कि मन में और कुछ भी नहीं है, सारा जगत भूल जाना चाहिए, खाली शिव जी ही जीते रहेंगे. तब अंदर में आप शिव जी नहीं बन गए हैं. When your mind is full of Shiva only, then have you not become Shiva in reality? Outside it might be a woman, it might be a man, it might be a child, doesn't matter. But inside what you are really is within. You have become Shiva. And that is the fulfillment of our puja. After that there is nothing for puja. Puja has no role to play. You have to go for the walk the path of jnana then. This is called Savikalpa Samadhi. In Jnana Marga, this is called Savikalpa Samadhi. That is the mind, the consciousness takes the form of what you are worshipping. So that becomes real to you. That becomes a real appearance to you. It appears almost no, it appears like real to you. But others will not be able to see. You will only see Shiva there. So that is called Savikalpa Samadhi. And if you want to proceed further, then you have to further get over that formation, and it is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. There is no vikalpa, there is no modification. So you come to know the Atma or the consciousness as it is. There is no form, nothing. The form has to get dissolved. आप ये सब स्टोरी नहीं जानते. रामकृष्ण देव का स्टोरी है, तोतापुरी आके उनको निर्विकल्प समाधि में जब ले गए थे. Initially he was finding it very difficult to get over the Kali Murti, because he was so fond of Kali that he cannot forget Kali. Finally, with Totapuri's effort, he transcended that. So, पूजा जब कर रहे हैं, सबसे अच्छा पूजा है कि मन को वो देवता बना देना पूरा. That is, the mind will get leena, will get completely dissolved in that idol which I am worshipping. So, because we are not able to do it, we are given several acharas and all. You put a murti, you do this, you clean that, so that the mind at least for half an hour or so in the day remains involved in that, where you forget the other worldly things. At least that much of time the mind will be one pointed towards that. It is expected to be. But अगर उसमें आप 56 भोग लगाते हैं, इधर उधर लगाते हैं, लोगों को बुलाते हैं, then it is not puja, it is more of a dharmadhvaja, that it is ostentation. You can do it in another sense when it is a sarvajanin puja or so, you are calling people as a social, it is a social festival or social worship, that is different. That you are calling people, they are all participating. But your puja cannot be like that always. And वो प्रसाद भी जो बनाते हैं तो जो हमारा पसंद है वही बनाते हैं ना. जो लड्डू खाना पसंद करते हैं वो देवता को भी लड्डू देते हैं. अगर डायबिटीज़ हो गया तो वो और देवता को लड्डू नहीं देंगे. So, dambha means ostentation, showing off, showing off. Even in spirituality, initially you will be shy of saying that I am spiritual because people don't like you to become spiritual. So you will be hiding your visit to CIRD or visit to your guru and all. But when once it is accepted, then you will try to show that I am very spiritual. नहीं है, बोलेंगे भी लोगों को. यहाँ जाते हैं हम तो हफ्ता में 5 दिन ही जाते हैं वहाँ और वहीं पे रहते हैं, खाली यही पढ़ते हैं, यही करते हैं. Then it becomes ostentation. Why should you preach others? Why should you tell with so much of exaggeration and all? You do. What is that? So all these things, amanitvam, adambhitvam. Why are we saying that it is different, that dambhitvam, dambha, and manitvam, mana? Why are they taking us away from jnana? Because they are all reinforcing our small personality, small identity, which is linked with our body-mind personality. Is it not? This mana is related to my small ego. That what people are saying about my rupa, about my position, about my money, about my fame, how are they reacting? That means by all those thoughts we are reinforcing, doubling, redoubling that ego which we want to get rid of. Jnana means getting rid of that ego, dissolving that ego. But this mana is always reinforcing that ego. Dambha is reinforcing that ego more and more in public. Public means it is all the more reinforced by that everywhere. Am I clear? So that is why it is related to jnana. If jnana is there, I am all pervading, I am everywhere. And I have to forget my small ego there, my small personality there. Instead of that, whatever makes that ego more and more consolidated, more and more reinforced. They will all take me away from jnana. Even after coming to the ashram, if I constantly think of what is my Gurudev telling me, Swamiji हमसे बात नहीं करते हैं, स्वामी हमें ये क्या क्या दे रहे हैं, हम पढ़े लिखे हैं, PhD किए हैं और हमसे खाली कुकिंग करवाते हैं, हमें खाली सुपरवाइज़र, हम कंस्ट्रक्शन के सुपरवाइज़र बने हुए हैं, स्वीप भी करना पड़ता है कभी कभी, ये सब करते हैं. अगर वो सोचेंगे तो they are also, after renouncing also, that manitvam will be there. When Mataji Krishna Bai went to Papa Ramdas, for a long period, I don't know how many months or years, he made her do the housemaid's job in the neighboring houses. He used to send her for working in the houses without any payment, without any salary, washing their vessels, or washing their clothes, sweeping. Go around and serve there. She came to serve Ramdas. But he said, you serve these people first. Now, अगर उनकी मानित्व है तो वो नहीं कर पाएंगे ना. She did it. She did it as long as it was necessary. आश्रम में जाके भी maybe many things we have to do which we would not have done otherwise at all. When I was wiping the floor of the dining hall, we had a small dining hall those days. Now I cannot wipe such huge thing. I cannot bend even. So I was wiping the dining hall. Some guest visitors, they remarked that हमारे community में husband कभी नहीं wipe करते हैं. I am a husband there. In our community, the male people, the husbands will never wipe the floor. That means if they come to the ashram, what will happen? So this manitvam doesn't go. They are also, it is the focus on my image. We create always an image about myself and constantly reinforce that image by everything. वो हमको ऐसा बोले हैं, हम कभी नहीं भूलेंगे. जब तक ना हमारी बॉडी, हमारा शरीर चीता पे ना उठेगा. शरीर स्त्रीलिंग है या पुल्लिंग है? पुल्लिंग ना. शरीर चीता में नहीं उठेगा तब तक हम भूलेंगे नहीं। क्या हुआ तो वो कुछ खराब कुछ बातें बोले थे, इतना ही है। Those words I am not able to forget, and it's a real thing I am saying, that as long as I am alive, I will not forget it. But that person has forgotten what he had told her. इतना हमारा मानित्वम। Ahimsa. Ahimsa means, himsa means hurting tendencies. Don't think that always killing something, killing animals, killing insects is himsa. Any hurtful tendencies inside is himsa. If you think of hurting others, that most of us think, उनको कैसे जब्त किया जाएगा, कैसे उनको एक लेसन दिया जाएगा, हम लोग सोचते हैं। अगर किसी को हर्ट कर सकते हैं तो हम सोचते हैं कि हाँ सक्सेसफुल हो गया। कल उन्होंने हमें किया था, वो उस समय हम ठीक जवाब मुंह में नहीं आया, आज हम उनको सुना दिए, एकदम मुंह काला हो गया। तो वी आर ऑलवेज थिंकिंग ऑफ हर्टिंग पीपल. सो एनी हर्टिंग टेंडेंसीज इन आवर माइंड इज हिंसा. वी शुड नो. So ahimsa is not just external himsa, it is internal himsa also. Why it is different from jnana? Because how is this himsa coming? We are thinking that others are different from me. When you see that the whole world is me, everywhere it is the Atma, there is only one Atma, everywhere it is myself, everything is in me and I am in everything, then how can himsa be there? It cannot be there. Then only the real compassion, the real love will dawn. Ahimsa kshanti arjavam. Kshanti means forbearance, which means that even if somebody misbehaves with you, you will not get affected. If there is anything wrong in the misbehavior, you can tell or you can correct it, whatever you can do. But you have to do it without getting affected. If there is affectation within, then you are gone. Because that affectation is the ego. Affectation is happening because of the ego. Whenever our mind is affected, it is the ego element in us. That is why Swamiji always says, it's a quotation from Swamiji, that unaffectedness is spirituality. Spirituality means unaffectedness. By nothing he will be affected. The mind will never get touched. Just like the soul, I am saying, that the space, even if there is a nuclear explosion, the space doesn't get affected by that. Like that, our mind also will become sky-like, spatial, which will never get affected by any abuses thrown by anybody, any sukha, any dukkha, no affectedness at all. So, Shanti means not getting affected by anybody's abuses or misbehavior. Arjavam, this is a great quality. In Ashtavakra Samhita, it comes in the first verse itself. Arjavam, it has come from Rijutva. Riju means straight. Arjavam is the noun of Riju. Riju is the adjective and Arjava is the noun. Arjavam means straightforwardness. That is always not to hide, not to have a complex mind, try to hide, try to complicate things. Always be open and straightforward. Whenever we ask something, are you sorry today? No. Is there anything in your mind? No, I am not thinking anything. You don't want to express there is definitely some thoughts in your mind and which you don't want to express. If you cannot express, at least for your Arjavam, you should say that, yes, there is something, but I cannot express it to you. I will not tell you. You can say that. Why are you saying that? No, I am not thinking anything. But this is our way generally. When we like something, no. Hey, you take it. You can easily say, yes, I like it, but I will be still more loving it because I love you. You take it. I will like it more, but I love it also. Or you share it and take it. Arjava means this kind of a straightforwardness. In serving sweets in the ashram, we had some inmates earlier, he is not there anymore, but we have some devotees also. When there are 30 people taking food and we have only 10 sweets or say 15 sweets, we have to have it and give. We are very open about it, that whatever we have, we are sharing. When we will not have food, we will not have money. Our devotees, our guests also will go without food. We will go without food, they will also have to go without food. When we have food, as long as we have, we will give you also. This is our basic principle of an ashram. Now, if you have sweets 10 and we want to distribute tomorrow, it may not remain all right also. or even if it remains, tomorrow also will be the same problem. So we will have it. If there are 40 people, we will make it 4 pieces, and whatever little comes, because ashram, everything is prasada. So whatever little comes, we will give. Now these servers will say that, I cannot serve half sweet. That is his ego. When I serve, I should be able to serve them 2, 3 when they ask. And they do it. For the second batch, there is no sweet left. Not sweet, of any vegetable also. The first batch, if they are allowed to serve, they will finish off everything. We tell them that it is very clear. You first separate it out for the second batch. See how many people are there. If something is cooked very well, naturally people, if you ask 3 times, 4 times, they will go on taking 3 times, 4 times. We have to have some measure somewhere. Once it happened that we were finding that we are not able to make up the biscuits in the afternoon tea. We are not able to understand what is happening. Then I went to the Annakshatra and found that 4, 5 of them are each taking more than 1 packet of biscuits in tea time. It's not lunch or dinner done with a biscuit. What is this? No, they are asking, how can I not give them? That is, some people were there who were greedy about it. But the servers will have to restrict. For tea, you need to give only 4. That is our rule generally. If somebody has come hungry, you give him another kela or something so that his stomach. That is different, special. But generally you serve only 4. If they are asking, finally it went on increasing for a few days. Finally it ended up giving more than 1 packet to each person, and our biscuit stock is getting over every day. These are all manitvam. These are all lack of arjavam also. We are not able to be straightforward to say that this is what it is. And open about it, be open about it, openly tell about it. So we have done amanitvam, adhammitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, arjavam also. The first line we have explained in detail. Now, I have already told you that this is what is called jnana. Now, about jnana, there is a speciality. Generally, we express it in this manner, that the sadhya, sadhana and siddhi, all are jnana. That is, what is the sadhya means? By our pursuit, what are we attempting to have, attempting to gain? That is called sadhya, which is the sadhana phala. That is, what are we attempting to have? So why sadhya is jnana? Because we are wanting to realize what is the truth. That means we are wanting to know we have the knowledge, to actualize the knowledge. So sadhya is jnana. But the sadhana for the sadhya is also jnana. That is, when we are pursuing, are we not pursuing knowledge? So when we are talking about these 20 qualities, it is a pursuit for us as sadhana, that we are pursuing these 20 qualities to acquire these 20 qualities. By that, what will happen? Our knowledge will get consolidated, will have its proper actualization. And finally, after acquiring all those 20 qualities, as we acquire, we will get into the sadhya, the knowledge will be had. And what is the siddhi? Here comes the speciality of the knowledge. Siddhi means what happens when the sadhaka gains the sadhya. My words are those who do not understand Sanskrit or Hindi. See, sadhaka means a pursuer who is doing the sadhana. Sadhana means the pursuit, and sadhya means whatever we are attempting to gain by the pursuit. And siddhi means what happens after the pursuit, after the sadhya is had. Now here in this case, sadhya is jnana. We are trying to have the knowledge of the ultimate truth. That is the sadhya. For that, what are we doing? We start with something of a rudimentary idea about the truth. And this is what they are saying. These are the 20 qualities, assembly of 20 qualities, that is called the jnana. Now when we are pursuing the qualities, it is a sadhana for us. But by that sadhana, what will happen? What will happen is jnana, is the knowledge will be actualized. And in this case, when the knowledge is actualized, what will happen is siddhi, that is also jnana. There comes the speciality, because what we become is knowledge. The ultimate reality is nothing but the knowledge. This is the specialty. It is only in our country this discovery has been made, and not now. Rig Veda, the earliest Veda, the Mahavakya is Prajnanam Brahma. The source of the universe. It is not the source, the substratum of the universe on which the whole universe is appearing to be. What is that? Prajnanam. That is the Prakrishta Jnanam. How it is said? As I said in Bhagavatam Ekadasha Skanda, Vadanti tat tattva vidaha tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. That the knower of the truth, they say that the tattvam, the ultimate truth is advaya jnana. That is what we call God in religion, Paramatma in spirituality, and Brahman in philosophy. They are all the same. They are same as our Atma. And that is the Advaya Jnana. This Advaya Jnana is a non-dual Jnana. That is all our Jnana. There is a division of subject and object. That is, I am knowing about something. When I know about the microphone, I and microphone, they are different. And I am gaining the knowledge of the microphone. But when I am knowing about myself, then there is no difference between the subject and the object. That is why in knowing, having this Advaya Jnana, we come to a state where we transcend the duality. The last duality is the subject-object duality. Yesterday in the beginning, did I not say that I am knowing the body? So I am the knower, revealer, and body is the object. I am knowing the mind. I am knowing the thoughts. The thoughts are object before me, and the revealer is the I, the consciousness. Finally, when do I know? When all these objects are eliminated. The external objects, as I say, the Bahyakasha. The internal objects, the Chittakasha. It is called Chittakasha. The name was not coming to my mind yesterday. It has come suddenly. Chittakasha is the internal, that is the mind, emotion, those, the Chittakasha. Chitta means the thoughtful mind. Both of them get completely dissolved into the Chidakasha, that is the Chit, as we say, the consciousness, where there is no duality at all. So we cannot say that, that is why nobody says that I am a knower. It cannot be said, because you are not knower in that sense of that I am there and there is a knowledge, I have known the knowledge. You become the knowledge. I think here it is written in our logo, Brahmavit apnoti param. There is another statement which says, Brahmavit brahmaiva bhavati. Brahmavit brahmaiva bhavati. That means a knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. That is the speciality of our knowledge. The entire spirituality is based on this very special aspect of this. Here, all the knowledge we pursue, we have to become that. Without that, we don't call it a knowledge. But scientific knowledge is not like that. When you know the electron, do you become the electron? When you know the God particle, do you become the God particle? Nothing happens to you. You can remain the same person. But here what happens is that identity I we have, that identity undergoes a revolutionary change. That I which I am thinking is limited by my body, mind, personality, a small I, which is always becoming jealous, always becoming happy, sorry, affected, unaffected, everything. That I gets changed into an unaffected, untouched, unchanging, immortal I. And how does it happen? At that point, that I is not different from your I, and my I is not different. It is the same consciousness. Even when we say all-pervading consciousness, it is not fully correct. Actually, the all is appearing to be in that consciousness. Everything is written in that consciousness. The world of objects is written in the consciousness. The world of thoughts are written in the consciousness. Everything is written on that consciousness. Everything is in consciousness. They appear in the consciousness. So, this knowledge, when the Siddhi comes, then I become the knowledge. So this is the speciality of jnana. That is why Bhagavad Gita is discussing like this. He is saying that etad jnanam iti proktam. After these qualities. How can these qualities become jnana? Because in this case, the sadhya, sadhaka, sadhana, siddhi, everything becomes prajnanam brahma. Not only that, anything we feel to be existing or think to be existing, everything is Brahman. There is nothing other than Brahman at all. All others are appearing in the Brahman. Now, when we say nothing is there and all, you will have your own concept. So, actually, what is meant by this, you have to pursue and get the idea, proper idea. It will get more and more clear. Of course, this happens in any pursuit. Suppose in Kathopanishad, when he starts the exposition, Yamaraja says, after saying that Om represents the Brahma Vidya, then he says, Etad alambanam shreshtham, etad alambanam param, etad alambanam jnatva brahmaloke mahiyate. Etad alambanam means support, refuge. Actually, it means refuge. When you are holding on to this alambana, there he is speaking about the Omkara, Om. But it can be true of anything. Suppose your Guru has given you a mantra. Now, when the mantra is given, you don't know what the mantra represents. You may have a rudimentary idea about it. You know that you don't know the power of it. You don't know what is going to happen by practicing it or doing the japa of it. Nothing you know. It is a mantra given to you, the Guru has given to you. And you have to do whatever the Guru has instructed you are following that. Now, what you have to do is the etad alambanam shreshtham. You have to consider that this is the highest, this is the supreme in life. Hold on to the refuge. Wherever you are taking the refuge, you have to have the full faith in that refuge. Otherwise, you will not get the benefit of it. If you hold on to it with the full faith that this is the ultimate, and then pursue it, etad alambanam shreshtham, etad alambanam param, this is the supreme refuge. Etad alambanam jnatva brahmaloke mahiyate. When you know that what you have been holding on to, then you become the Brahman. That is, as you pursue your sadhana with whatever has been given you as refuge, as you pursue, it becomes getting enlivened. Like a fire, it blazes forth. It exposes its own nature. When we hold on to it as the ultimate refuge and do it with full sincerity, then it opens up its own truth slowly. And finally that mantra becomes the most powerful, that through that you get completely fused into your own soul. Do you get it? This is how any mantra japa or any pursuit is to be done. That ultimate pursuit. When I say pursuit, it means for the ultimate truth. That when you are starting it, you don't know. It is your faith. But that must be a complete faith in the supremacy of it. Before that, you may judge your Guru, you may look for anybody, you may interview thousands of Gurus in the world. But when you catch hold of somebody and take mantra from him, you have to have the full faith on him. Otherwise, it will not yield the result. I often give the example of, suppose you are walking in the desert and you feel very thirsty. You feel thirsty. You look for water. You don't know where there is water. But there are many people coming from the other side. So seeing them, you will naturally ask, I am going towards that, you are coming from there, is there any water? So many people are coming. Whom will you ask whether there is water or not? Suppose a person who is coming looking absolutely haggard, looking very thirsty and all. Will you ask that person, or will you ask a person who is looking satisfied that he is not thirsty, he is not looking so haggard? Will you not select such a person? So that selection is according to your own intelligence. You have to judge, whom am I going to ask? Now once you have asked the person and he says, yes, I got very good water, it's a very pure water I have got, I have drank to the full and I am coming after that. I can show you, but I cannot go back. I can give you the direction, how to go and how to get it. So he tells you that you walk straight where you are walking for about 10 minutes or something, he says. And then you take exactly a right turn and walk again for 10 minutes. Then look to the left. You will find far away a top of the palm tree is being seen. Some palm tree. It is called Tada Pushkarini Nyaya. In our Shastras, everything is Nyaya. It is called Tada Pushkarini Nyaya. That is, Tada means palm tree and Pushkarini means pond, where there is water. So you see the top of the palm tree. once you have spotted the palm tree, walk straight towards that. When you reach the bottom of the palm tree, then look down, you will find that valley under there, you will find that there is beautiful water. You drink to your wishes. Now you start following his word that he appears to be saying truth, because he said he has drank the water and it is there available, direction also he has given. You start walking. As you walk, you find that, oh, it is becoming more and more arid. According to his direction where you are walking, it is becoming more and more arid. Arid means dry, shushk. और भी dry लग रहा है. Then doubt starts coming in your mind. वो तो कुछ गलत बता दिया लग रहा है. Has he spoken wrongly? Either intentionally or maybe mistakenly. It is looking very dry. I am going the wrong way. You get all the more anxious about what will happen to me. I am already thirsty. I am going the wrong way. It is becoming more and more arid. उन्होंने शायद गलत बताया, तो राइट टर्न नहीं लेके लेफ्ट टर्न ले लिया. उधर बहुत ग्रीन दिख रहा है. That you see that side is looking green, this side is looking more arid. So instead of taking the right turn, as he said, you take the left turn and go towards green. That might be looking green, but there is no water body. You cannot drink the water from the leaves. They are taking water from down below. You cannot dig it to that extent and get the water. It might be green because of some other reason. But you don't know that. You walk towards that and then finally get lost in the desert, getting without water. So this is it. While asking somebody, you have to be sure that here is somebody on whose words I can have faith. Once you select your advisor, then you have to follow what he said. Otherwise your life will be wasted. So when you practice the sadhana given by the teacher, by the guru, initially you don't know its power. You have not seen the water. So water, how fulfilling it is, how pure it is, that nothing you know. But as you proceed with that, slowly it opens up its own power. It starts getting more and more powerful. These mantras have become powerful because of that. Because people have lived these mantras and they have acquired power through the living. So when we live, the mantra opens up with its power. And finally it exposes, it unfolds itself. This is the way generally it happens. So the jnana, when we start, these are these qualities, as I am talking about the 20 qualities. Then it will appear, it is all very secular. Where is the Atma coming here? Where is the knowledge coming here? It's all ahimsa and amanitvam, adambhitvam. That any secular person, anybody will like to have it. So where is the Atma or the truth or the reality is coming in? When we pursue and our personality undergoes the changes, then we will understand that each of this pursuit, each of these qualities as we pursue, our mind is expanding. That I, which is very constricted, always creating tension, stress, etc., all the tensions are going and I am expanding. The mind is becoming lighter, freer, and it is able to absorb the truth. Then whatever constricted ideas are there, they are getting dissolved. It will take place over a time. It will slowly take place. And as it takes place, you will have more and more faith on the pursuit. That is why Bhagavad Gita said, Pratyaksha avagamam dharmyam susukham kattum avyayam. Pratyaksha avagamam, that means every step it is experiential. The other day I quoted from Shankaracharya also, that jnana phalam tu, anubhava arudham tu jnana phalam. Forgot. Anubhava anarudhe, swargadau anubhava anarudhe, syat shanka. There is always doubt, whatever is not experiential, like swarga, naraka, etc. What is that? Bhaved va nava iti. It may be there, it may not be there. Nobody can prove it, nobody can disprove it either. But anubhava arudham tu jnana phalam. Jnana phal, the result of knowledge is experiential. Every moment it is experiential. So Bhagavad Gita says that Pratyaksha-avagamam dharmyam susukham kattum abhyayam. When we pursue it, it is susukham, not just sukham, it is susukham. The moment your constrictions, your jealousy, your blaming tendencies, they go, it will give you so much of happiness. Every bit of expansion will give you so much of happiness. So is it not experiential? The expansion of the mind is, suppose you go in front of an ocean, that the first time you see the sea, suddenly you feel so much of joy, don't you? Everybody has felt it in their life. The moment, the first time you see the ocean, oh, it is so vast. You felt lot of joy. How long does the joy remain? If you stay there 7 days, after 1 or 2 days, many quarrels will start. This will with whoever you have gone, some fight will be taking place, many things will happen, and mostly you will forget the vastness of the sea also. So the sea is still in front, but where has the joy gone? Is it in the sea or in your mind? Joy was in your mind. So what happened when you first saw the sea? You forgot all the constricted ideas, constrictions of the mind, everything was forgotten. And mind took the dimension of the sea. It became vast. So the joy you got from the vastness of the mind, not from the vastness of the sea. If remaining in a closed room, you can expand your mind, you will get the same joy or more joy. If you meditate and expand your mind, get it freed of all such disturbing thoughts, affecting thoughts, constricting thoughts, everything if you can get rid, then you don't need any sea or any sky or anything. There itself you will have the bliss. So this knowledge is like that. The knowledge is supposed to, every moment it is supposed to make you expand, lighter, inner strength it should create. You should feel like sky-like, the dimension should increase more and more, sky-like, all the tensions, all the stresses, all the fear, all the anxiety should go. If they are not going, that means the knowledge is not dawning in you sufficient. That is how the jnana becomes a sadhana. All these anxieties, attachments, etc., when they are going, slowly you start becoming lighter and lighter. So you can experience, you don't have to ask your guru even that, am I progressing? You will know that you are progressing. Nobody has to tell you that you are progressing. You can find out yourself. All the symptoms, the lakshanas are spoken of in the Shastras, not for judging others, for judging ourselves. Our own mind, they are given. We can test ourselves. So that is how these qualities are themselves called the jnana. Because initially when we start, they are the sadhana. When we pursue it, they finally mold into the sadhya and bringing in the siddhi, by which the sadhaka himself becomes Siddha, or by becoming Siddha, he becomes the Sadhya itself. He becomes the knowledge. Prajnanam Brahma. Because when he knows himself, that is the Advaya knowledge, the consciousness. So he becomes consciousness. Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. So let us go to the next. Arjavam, did I explain? I have explained. No? It has come from Rijutva. Riju means straight. Arjavam means straightforwardness. Now it is not just as you mean by straightforwardness. When you go deeper and deeper, all these qualities also, as you approach further and further, as you progress further and further, they will mean much deeper, much greater, much vaster. Their meanings will go on changing. So the Arjavam also, as you proceed, what is this straightforwardness, becoming straightforward? That you will come to know slowly. For that you have to be watchful about the mind. Where are the bends, where are the kinks in the mind? You straighten it and you will know. There are so many kinks in the mind where the mind is full of knots, emotional knots. That is why the end of Mundaka and Kathopanishad both say Vidyate Hridaya. In Mundaka Upanishad this shloka is there. Vidyate Hridaya Granthihi Chidyante Sarva Samshayaha Shiyante Chasya Karmani Tasmin Drishte Paravare. When he sees the truth, Vidyate Hridaya Granthihi. Granthi means the knots. We have so many knots in our heart. Knots created by our desires, our hiding tendencies, by our ego. All sorts of knots are there. They all get untied. So you feel the release, the liberation. That is called moksha. Moksha is not to get born again in the womb, from the womb. That is only religious moksha. Spiritual moksha is when you feel, it is called Jivan Mukti. You have to feel the release in yourself. All the knots are untied. You will feel like the sky. That is the moksha. So, Arjavam is like that. You know that the light moves in straight line. Actually, it is not exactly straight line. It moves on the principle of least path. That is, always it will not be the straight we say. Suppose you put a glass piece on the path, it will go like this. But the path it takes to cover is the minimum expenditure of energy. That it happens automatically. Light has the maximum amount of arjava. So by itself it moves. It cannot move in any other path. It moves like that. So as we approach the truth more and more, our nature becomes like that. We take that straightforward path. Things fall in their place automatically. Anybody who pursues, they will have these experiences. You don't have to struggle to do something which has to be done. Generally we struggle a lot and then finally find that the whole day I struggled, but it should not have been done. It is already there in my house. I was looking in the market, could not find it, and ransacked all the market, but the material is already there in my house. You discover at the end. These things will not be there. I mean, not like this, but it is like that. Whatever you do, everything will get done. It will fall in place. How does it happen? Because more and more you practice arjava or practice this path, what happens is that you become harmonious with the nature's fundamental rhythm. Our desires are not allowing us to flow with the fundamental rhythm of nature. Our desires, our complicated mind, it is always putting things in a concocted manner, convoluted manner. So we are not able to move in harmony with the natural rhythm, in tune with the infinite. When we move in tune with the infinite, in tune with the natural harmony, then everything gets done automatically. We don't have to be effortful. Effortlessly everything is being done. So Rijutva, when you proceed, it takes subtler and subtler forms. Somebody is asking Brahma that how is it you are managing such a huge universe? Every moment there are so many complicated things happening. Galaxies are getting born, galaxies are dying. Will you not commit any mistake? Will not your step go the wrong way sometimes in managing this huge universe? You are all the managing directors of a factory. There also you make mistake. And here is a Brahma who is the managing director of the universe. He doesn't make any mistake. How does it happen? So he is replying that my step will never go wrong because I have kept Vishnu always in my heart. I have kept Vishnu always in my heart. Why Vishnu? It is not Brahma-Vishnu fight or somebody Vishnu Bhakta is saying this to give Vishnu the higher position. It is not like that. Vishnu means Vyapnoti iti Vishnu. Etymological meaning of Vishnu is Vyapnoti iti Vishnu, which is all pervading. Although we show Vishnu with 4 hands and 2 legs, the real Vishnu, the name they have given, that is only to fool you or to lure you. A beautiful face is given because if Vishnu has an ugly face, nobody will come to him. But he is having beautiful as well as ugly, everything is in him. But we have to make the face beautiful to attract the fools. Fools means us, not others. Seeing a beautiful face, he will go. And when you go near, he says that beautiful, ugly, everything is in me. I am neither beautiful nor ugly. I am all pervading. Vishnu word means all pervading. So the all pervading reality, what is it? That is our Atma. That is the Brahman. So Brahma says that I am always integrated with my real identity. I am fused in my real identity, on which the whole universe is appearing to be. So I am holding the universe in that rhythm. Nothing can go wrong. Whatever I do, that itself is right. It may appear to be wrong sometimes, but it will definitely be right in some other way also. So the Rijutva will open up more and more as we progress. What is the meaning of Rijutva? Next comes Acharyopasanam. Acharya Upasanam. Acharya means teacher or guru. Spiritual teacher, guru. Upasanam. Upasanam means Upa Asanam. Upa means near. Asanam means sit. If you sit near the Guru, everything will happen. Nothing will happen. Sitting near the Guru means not sitting physically near the Guru. Guru is not the outer body. Guru is his, what is he inside, where the Guru Shakti is. Sitting near the Guru means you identify yourself with the Guru's mind, with his ideals, with his vision, with his everything inside, not the body. You cannot identify yourself with the Guru's body. Can you? It's not possible. Even if you sit near the Guru, always thinking in your mind in your own manner, not to know what is going on in his Guru's manner, you may sit for thousands of years, nothing is going to happen. एक महात्मा को देखना बाहर से देखना नहीं है, उनके अंदर को पहचानना है. This is a statement of a saint. When we go near a Mahatma, actually it happened when we went to Rishikesh, we were seeing one Tirtha Maharaj. So somebody came, so he asked, why have you come? किस लिए आए हैं? क्यों आए हैं? महात्मा महाराज आपके दर्शन के लिए आए हैं. I have come to see you. दर्शन? महात्मा का दर्शन ऐसे होता है क्या? महात्मा का दर्शन ऐसे नहीं होता है, उनके मन को जानना है महात्मा का. So upasana means sitting near what the Mahatma represents, what the Acharya represents. Now how will you know it? You have to be humble, you have to be watchful, you have to know what his vision is. You can ask always also. In any situation you can ask, what do you think about it? What is your mind? How is your mind reacting? My mind is reacting like that, whatever it is. Somehow or other you have to try to understand the teacher's inner personality, not the outer personality. Once before joining the ashram, I had visited the ashram. Before joining, I have visited the ashram only twice. That is May 1986 we went for the first time. Then December 1986 we went for the second time. And May 1987 we joined. We came for a while. So when we went in December 1986, Swamiji was repeatedly telling us that why don't you come and join, why didn't you come and join? We asked that, are you serious about it? He said, yes, I think that you have done everything. So far I have been telling that you don't leave, don't leave. After all, it is an educational profession. It's a very good profession. You continue. But now I think time has come. You can leave and come. So I was just hearing all these things. That now one day it so happened that I have written about it also. Something happened in the village. Some very almost loafer boys and all young people, they had done some mischief. So what I found is that Swamiji had called the group, about 8 or 10 hefty people, very young, loafer-like people. They are standing, there's a parapet in the veranda, they were standing on the other side and Swamiji was standing inside on this side. And Swamiji was speaking very intensely. I mean, you can say even angrily, seeing from outside it was looking like angrily speaking to them. And he does lot of, as you have seen, those who have listened to Swamiji, lot of actions will be there when he speaks, moving of the hand and all. Sometimes he is taking the towel from the shoulder and throwing it on the parapet and again taking it up and speaking very forcefully to them. Anybody will think that, may become fearful also. These people look not very safe. To them, Swamiji is speaking like this. What is the reason? What is the reason? Now what happened is that, suddenly, seeing us a little anxious, Swamiji came running towards me and coming close to me, said that, you should not feel disturbed. I am only trying to put some sense in them. And then again ran to them and started hitting the parapet and all with the same acting going on. But in between he just smilingly told me that, don't get worried, I am trying to put some sense. But that one word put me in a complete, what shall I say, a contemplation. What is it? I started thinking that what is this happening? If left to me, if suppose I were there, I would have avoided these people. Even if you see them standing on the street corner, I will go through another street or somehow avoid them and go. Because their look itself would make me avoid, because I don't want to face such people. And here is a saint who is peacefully staying in an ashram, who has left the usual worldly life and staying in an ashram. He has particularly called these boys and speaking so angrily, admonishingly to them without having any fear that they may flare up or anything may happen, something may happen. Nothing. And he is speaking like this. What makes him speak like this? Which any ordinary people will avoid, and not to speak of a spiritual person. Spiritual persons will generally be more peaceful. They will avoid unpeaceful situations. As our Sunil was saying, he doesn't want to repair the fans and taps also, because he is becoming spiritual. All spiritual people are like that. They become more and more self-centered, and they avoid any small jobs. They start thinking it to be disturbance. And here is a person who is collecting such thing and speaking to them like this. So I understood that he is doing it for the society. He felt that something wrong has been done, and that wrong has to be set right to the extent possible. Whether it will be set right or not, that is different. But I feel like putting some sense in these people. They should not behave in this manner. After all, they belong to my village. They are my countrymen. So if I can do some good to them. So for that, he is taking the trouble of addressing them with so much of intensity, without fearing their any repercussion or any other behavior from them. So, but we will not generally face it. So I understood that if I come to the ashram, as Swamiji is saying, my new sadhana will be to get over the likes and dislikes. What is that? Get over likes and dislikes. But is it not likes and dislikes for which we avoid? Suppose in many places, why people always avoid politics? Unless good people join politics, how can the country be run properly? But nobody will join politics because they dislike the running for the election and facing defeat and whatever. They dislike it. Unless and until good people join the politics, the country cannot become good. But we avoid it because of our selfishness. We don't think of the country. We blame politics, blame them for the country, whatever has happened to the country, and keep ourselves away. It is the selfishness that we do. Now here it is somebody who is naturally peaceful and who would like to have a peaceful atmosphere is taking this trouble only for the country. That means he has transcended that I like peace and I dislike unpeaceful. That likes and dislikes are there, but he is not hating a non-peaceful situation or a non-peaceful consequence or any fearful consequence. He is not fearful of that. He is not avoiding that. He is ready to take it also. Not that he doesn't like peace. He would like peace, definitely. But he can take to that non-peaceful situation also. This is what is meant by going beyond likes and dislikes. So this analysis which was going on in my mind, what is it? It is understanding the saint that he is beyond the likes and dislikes. And if I come here and join, this is what I have to do also. Because as long as we are in the household, we are always doing what we like. Suppose a person you dislike, you will not welcome him, so he will not come the second time. Even first time also sometimes you may not allow. But first time by mistake if he enters, then second time he would not come because you will not give him tea even. But the people you like, them you will call, come to our house and create all kinds of sweets and everything to feed them. The more you like, the more will be the feeding. All those things will go on. So as long as we are in the household, we are under the likes and dislikes. And you will not know until you leave your house what is the meaning of going beyond likes and dislikes. To some extent you may know. But the liberation we get out of transcending the likes and dislikes, that needs, I think, sannyasa. We don't speak about it, you will get scared. But really speaking, When I was going to our Maharaja in Kharagpur, one sannyasin had come from Rishikesh and he was taking Upanishadic classes. When I was in Kharagpur IIT. So every morning we used to go to his class. So sometimes I would say that he was always emphasizing sannyasa. So I would often ask that, is it so important? Why Janaka Raja is there? This is that. Many people all are asking like that only. I also used to ask that Janaka Raja is there. He was not a sannyasin, and many others also. So he would say something. Now after going to the ashram, once we came back, once we came and met him, then he asked, now that you have left home and gone there and stayed for a year, what do you feel? Do you have to ask that question again? What do you feel? I said, no, I don't have any more question. I know now. So this will not happen unless you come out in the open field and start accepting anywhere coming. In an ashram, anybody can come anytime. You cannot be hateful to anybody. Not that everybody you will have to host. He might be disharmonious with the ashram. So you may not host them. But you have to own the whole world. You have to be loving to the whole world. Accept them. And if you can help them a little, you have to do. So this is the nature of a Mahatma. So Acharyopasanam means you have to know this dimension of the Acharya. And how will you know? By becoming closer and closer to him. Not physically, but mentally. Mentally closer and closer. That means you have to keep away your own analysis. Our analyses are all based on a constricted mindset. Karpanya dosho hapata svabhavaha. That kripana mindset. How will we understand what is a liberal mindset thinking? So we have to be very impartial and humble to know that mindset. As we know that mindset, we become more and more like that. See, it is an osmosis process. Automatically, as you are thinking of that mind, of a liberated mind, your mind will become more and more liberated. As we contemplate more and more on Atma, our mind will become Atma. Even suppose, I often say that suppose the Atma had not been a truth. It is only a concept, say. Had it been a concept, by constantly thinking about this Atma, the concept of the Atma, constantly ruminating over it, will not our mind become Atma? Because the mind is constantly thinking of small fragmented things, likes, dislikes, hatred, blaming, etc. The mind has become fragmented. It has become constricted. It has become small. The same mind, when it thinks of the universal Atma, the universal reality which is unaffected by anything happening anywhere in the world, unaffected by anything, immortal, there is no change. When the mind constantly thinks of such a concept, that itself, that process will make the mind like that. It will become that. This is what I am saying, that sadhana makes it the sadhya. You become that. By that you become that. This is the process. So even if Atma had not been there, we would have got the benefit of studying about Atma, contemplating on Atma. But the fact is that it is a truth. So Acharyopasanam is, first of all, to listen to the Guru, whatever he says, to try to understand what he says, try to do what he does, what he wants you to do. Then finally to identify yourself, your inner self, with the Guru, that you more and more get molded into his ideal, his mission, his vision, everything. Get completely identified with him. That is the meaning of Guru Sannidhi, the Sannidhya. It is not physical Sannidhya. Physical Sannidhya is only necessary to have it, so that you are in the presence. But the real Sannidhya is within, not outside. We generally say that there are three kinds of disciples. The one is Uttama Shishya. Uttama Shishya means the best kind of disciple. The criterion is that Guru does not have to tell him what he wants. He will do according to the Guru's wishes, without any talk. That means his attunement with Guru is so much that he understands what the Guru needs. From material need to anything. Suppose he needs water, the water he will bring at that time. Most of the things he will do without being asked. That is called the Uttama Shishya. Then Madhyama Shishya is one who will not understand, but when the Guru says, he will bring it. He will do it. Whatever it says, he will do. He will do sincerely, he will do it. Adhama Shishya is one who will not do, even if repeatedly the Guru says, he will not do. He has to tell so many times, even then he will partly do or not do. That is the Adhama Shishya. Now these three are Shishyas. Adhama Shishya is also a Shishya. But there are so-called disciples who do exactly the opposite to what the Guru says. So they are not Shishya. They are not included in our Shishya definition. They are not even Adhama Shishya. But such disciples are many there. Whatever the Guru says, even what does he know? He is a sannyasin. He doesn't know anything of the world. We have to do it in this manner. Oh, लड़की का शादी करवा दो, स्वामी जी को मत बताओ. स्वामी जी को बताने से बोलेंगे कि ये ठीक नहीं है लड़का, मत कराओ. मुश्किल में पड़ जाएंगे, इसको करवा दो. Then after marrying the daughter, when there is great trouble, then they will come to Swamiji. Swamiji, आप उद्धार कीजिए. ये तो गड़बड़ हो गया, लड़के का ये हो गया, वो हो गया. Did you understand what I said? You did not. See, while getting the daughter married, they will not ask Swamiji. They will avoid, because they have a fear that if Swamiji says no, with lot of trouble I have found out a boy for the girl. And if Swamiji says no, then all my effort will go wrong. So they will, hidingly they will get the daughter married. Saying that, oh, sannyasin, he is a sannyasin, what will he know about this marriage and daughter and husband and family and all? He doesn't know anything about it. Let us get the daughter married. Then after marriage, when the daughter is in trouble, then they will run to Swamiji saying that, now please relieve us from this trouble. This is what the other, not Shishya. It is, Shishyas do it, but they are not within the three categories. So this Acharyopasanam finally boils down to unquestioning loyalty. It becomes a reality when it is unquestioning loyalty. That means even if you feel that the Guru is doing something wrong, you will not criticize. You will not question, not only criticism. You will not question even. That since he is doing, there must be some reason. See, when Krishna asked Yudhishthira to speak that Ashwathama has died, he refused. Because he was egoistic about his dharma. I will not speak a lie. Had it been Arjuna, he would have said. But here Arjuna's words they will not believe. Yudhishthira had that he always speaks the truth, so Yudhishthira has to say. But Yudhishthira refused to speak. He doubted that it is adharma. What Krishna is asking me to do, it is adharma. So it is not unquestioning loyalty to the Guru. But Krishna knew Krishna was not an ordinary Guru, he was a very clever Guru. So he made him do the thing with more papa than usual papa. That you know. That for that he had to kill an elephant, name it Ashwathama, kill an elephant, and finally say that Ashwathama hata iti kunjaraha, and iti kunjara drum beating, and so all sorts of cunningness, corruption, everything is there. But basically, is it not the same lie? Whether he spoke the lie or not, what is the purpose? Purpose is to tell Drona that Ashwathama has died. So fundamentally the lie remains the same. Are you not able to understand? Just by avoiding the lie theoretically, it is a theoretical avoidance of the lie. Really it is the same lie with additional corruptions of not having the arjava, the straightforwardness. You call an elephant, give a name, cut his head, then say something, beat the drum so that he cannot hear it, all kinds of corruptions. And Yudhishthira foolishly did all that. So if somebody is very egoistic about his own moral standing and all, Krishna-like gurus can make them do things in this manner. And for that Yudhishthira had to see the Naraka also on his Mahaprasthana. That means he had that papa remained in his mind. See, whether you speak the lie straightforwardly or in a complicated manner, the mind will suffer that I have spoken a lie, I have done a wrong. Suppose he had complete faith in Krishna, then even if he does wrong like Arjuna, Krishna has told me I have done. Whether it is wrong or right, I don't know. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja, he said. Krishna said. So I have left, I have renounced all the dharmas and I am following whatever Krishna says. So there won't be any papa. His papa means what? Constriction in the mind. There's a smallness in the mind. He will not have the smallness in the mind in this case. But Yudhishthira, because he did not have that kind of a devotion to Krishna, so he suffered that lie and that constriction remained with him till he went to the Mahaprastha, till now, when he was going into the Mahaprasthana. Are these meaningful to you? In Guru Sannidhi, many things happen. When a Shishya gets admonished by the Guru, we always use scolded. It is not scolding. Admonished by the Guru, he goes to the other disciple and tries to get some consolation from there. What does it mean? That is also not a loyalty to the Guru. Guru has admonished for something. He has not done to blame you or to denounce you or to degrade you or anything. It is only for your benefit. So a real Shishya will think about what the Guru said and try to bring in the correction. Oh, Guru has scolded me, so I go to someone and both together we speak ill about the Guru or something that he is always scolding, and by that I get satisfied. Such a Shishya will never improve. But this is a common disease with all the Shishyas. I think here also it happens. I am sure, because in ashram also it happens. Not only this, what happens is that A does not like B, C does not like B. So A and C always talk ill about B. By that they become more and more hateful about B. Is it not so? So here also, one gets scolded for one reason by the Guru, get admonished by the Guru. Another gets admonished for some other reason. Both are getting admonished. So both of them are always very good friends and speaking to each other, with consoling each other, they become very happy. They become happy, but they remain where they are, or they fall further. Finally they fall off. This is what is going to happen. So Acharyopasanam is not easy. Not easy now, I am saying it is easy, but it has to be understood in different levels. And why it is then this Acharyopasanam is one of the aspects of jnana? Because what is it making you? Acharya is one who has identified himself with the real truth, with the real Atma, that universal Atma. So more and more you identify yourself with him, will you not become that Atma? That is why Krishna repeatedly says, Mam, he comes to me, he becomes like me. Again and again in Bhagavad Gita it is there. He becomes like me, he comes to me, he enters me. That means Krishna, who has identified himself with the transcendental oneness, the seeker also, if he pursues this, he will become like that. He will identify himself with the universal I. Then comes Shaucham. Shaucham means Shuchitvam. Shaucham. There can be two kinds of Shuchitva. Shuchitva means actually purity. Purity. Is there any other word in English? What have they written in the English book? Can you see? No, cleanliness. Acha, you can call cleanliness also. Now it has got two aspects. One is Bahya, another is Antara. That is internal cleanliness and external cleanliness, or internal purity and external purity. External is that as we do that, taking bath, taking the ablutions properly, washing the teeth, everything properly, keeping things, everything orderly, clean, nothing should be dirty. So this is also very important, things, everything orderly. See, suppose you stay, many people are there who stay in a very disorderly condition. Always everything is topsy-turvy and around. Their mind also will generally be like that. You can experiment it yourself, that you arrange the things around you properly. Even the garden, suppose the garden is very disheveled, everything is wrong there. You use the spade to make it plain and arrange it, make everything orderly. You trim the trees properly so that the fallen, the dried leaves have gone, the dried flowers are all taken away. So when you make the surroundings clean, orderly, you will find a peace dawns in your mind. Have you not felt it? It is always so. By arranging the surroundings, actually we arrange our mind also. Always it is like that. So when we say outer cleanliness or outer order, actually by doing that also we make the inside clean. And it is a discipline which makes us, generally we are slave to the world, as I said, that all the disciplines we make will make us master of the world. That is normally why are we keeping things unclean? Because we are idle, because we are slave to our, say, some idleness or something that we don't want to put the effort, or we are busy with some other fulfillment of desire, whatever. So when we are restricting that idleness or some indulgence, etc., and keeping things orderly, what is happening is that I am becoming more disciplined. I am undergoing a discipline. I am becoming more orderly. So although it is external cleanliness, but it certainly is making our inside also arranged and clean to a certain extent. Now internal cleanliness is basically desirelessness, but there are certain standard codes also. Generally we say Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. These are in the Shastras, if you see, these are the Shuchitva, the Antar-Shuchitva, the internal Shuchitva. They are defined as Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. Now Maitri means, we generally use Maitri for friendliness, but they have defined very clearly what is Maitri. It is when somebody's sukha makes you sukhi. That is one, whether your friend or enemy or anybody, that anybody other than you, when he is happy, you also feel happy. You feel happy seeing others happy. It is not only about human being. If you keep your tap on table, everything broken and torn, the curtain torn and all, they are not happy. So when you keep things properly, actually they become happy. Seeing them happy also, you should feel happy. I am saying because of his example, because he was telling all these things. So, Maitri is feeling happy, seeing others' happiness. Whoever it is, if it is enemy also, you should feel happy. But generally we are not. When the enemy becomes happy, or somebody I don't like becomes happy, we are not happy at that. We have to look into our mind and accept. Similarly, Karuna means feeling dukhi when by others' dukkha. Whoever it is, seeing others unhappy, feeling unhappy. So it is vibrating with others equally. You understand how the Atma becomes everybody's Atma, how the knowledge is coming here, in this quality, how it is becoming jnana. Sarva bhutastham atmanam sarva bhutani cha atmani. That I am in everybody and everybody is in me. How will it happen? Unless we have that kind of a tuning, compassion, pervadingness, pervasiveness. So, feeling happy in others' happiness and feeling sorry in others' sorrow. Maitri, Karuna. Then Mudita. Mudita means actually cheerfulness. But particularly Mudita in this case means seeing others' Utkarsha. Utkarsha means improvement, progress or elevation. Suppose somebody else has got promoted. Seeing that, I should feel happy. Generally we are not. If I get the promotion, I am happy. If others are promoted, my colleague is promoted, generally we find difficult to become happy in such cases. Is it not so? So Mudita means, these are all under Shuchitva. So if we are not feeling happy in my colleague's promotion, it means that my mind is impure. So that impurity should be removed. We have to become pure. And Mudita, the other one is Upeksha. Upeksha means when others, you find others, their dosha, that is their some wrong tendencies in others, or even abusing you also, or some other durguna, other wrong tendencies in others, that you need not go out to criticize that. Have Upeksha. Upeksha means ignore. Ignore it. If you can correct, you can try. But the first condition in instituting any correction is that you have to own up that person. You have to love that person. You own him up. That is, own him up means you consider his to be mine. And then you try to point out that this is a wrong tendency and it should be corrected or whatever to be done. Then it will have effect. But we generally do not own up and we just blame the person for blaming. In fact, if he gets corrected, I will not be happy because my scope for blaming will go. Is it not so? So we assign some durguna and then start blaming. That also we do. It can go to any extent. That is ajnanam yadato anyatha. These are all ajnana. If you do the opposite, you are going towards ajnana. So jnana means owning up the whole world. And then you administer whatever correction if you feel like, if you can, you do it. Otherwise, upeksha. Otherwise, don't worry about it. You are nobody to blame him. You are nobody to criticize him. The world, anybody existing in this world has the right to exist. Any criminal existing in the world has the right to exist. But he will be taken to the jail if he is caught. That is also perfectly all right. But you cannot blame or you cannot criticize a criminal. Provided only when you love him and you can own him up, then you have the right to criticize. Otherwise, let him be criminal. It is for the police to catch him and put him in the jail. If you can help the police to catch, you can do that also without blaming him. In Indonesia, they say that everybody is smiling. They say, and I found it to be, it is an exceptional country. Everybody is smiling. You feel cheerful. After going there, generally I am a very not smiling person. After going there, after 4 or 5 days, I find that I am also smiling and speaking to everybody. It will, like a disease, it will, infection, it will spread. So they say then that when the police will give you a ticket, smilingly they will give you the ticket. And if you bribe him smilingly, they will smilingly accept the bribe. If you don't bribe him, they will send you to the court or to the jail smilingly. It's a beautiful country that way. So, shaucham means purity, shuchitva. But when you go to further and further, deeper and deeper level, it means all divisional feelings will go. Because all these things, as I just now compared, that opposite of shuchitva means you are dividing, you are separating it from yourself. So as the mind becomes purer and purer, that the division between, the separation between you and others, that goes. Is it not so? That you sympathize others, you become sorry in others' sorrow. That means the divisions are going. So in the scriptures you will find that Atma is the Shuchi. Ultimate of the Parakashta, the peak of Shuchitva is the Atma. Because Atma you cannot divide at all. Atma is everywhere in the same manner, uniform, one, universal. That is the Parakashta or the peak of Shuchitva. So as we approach closer and closer to Atma, we become more and more Shuchi. In Kathopanishad also it is there. Sadamanaska, Sada Shuchihi. That chariot example it is there. That Shuchitva means your mind becoming purer and purer and purer. Ultimately, pure mind itself is the Atma, nothing else. Manohi dvividham proktaha shuddham ashuddham shuddham. What is that? Shuddham ashuddham evacha. No. Ashuddham kama sankalpam shuddham kama vivarjitam. See, in Kathopanishad it is there. Yathodakam shuddhe shuddham asiktam tadrigeva bhavati. Evam muner vijanata atma bhavati gautama. Yathodakam shuddhe shuddham asiktam tadrigeva bhavati. Evam muner vijanata atma bhavati gautama. O Gautama, O Nachiketa, vijanatah munehe atma evam bhavati. A knower who has known the truth, his atma becomes like this. What is that? Yathodakam shuddhe shuddham asiktam tadrigeva bhavati. There is pure water in a lake or in a vessel, and you are pouring pure water into it. what will happen? When the pure water falls into pure water, you will not be able to identify the stream is going here or going there. It is not colored water, nothing, absolutely pure water. It just gets merged in it. Like that, his Atma, which was appearing to be small, embodied something, that gets merged with the universal Brahman. Actually, it is not getting merged. He comes to know that it is this. So, ultimate Shuddhata or Shuchitva is purity, is the Atma. And the mind, a pure mind, is nothing different from the Atma. Sthairiyam Atma Vinigraha. Now I will stop this. Each line is taking 2 days. So I will not progress much. But I will take up some question answers I have been telling for the last 2-3 days. 15 minutes are there. Babaji, this is the first somebody is addressing me as Babaji. अच्छा ठीक है, हम बाबाजी बन जाएंगे. अभी दाढ़ी रखेंगे तो वो सब सफ़ेद ही होगा. हम सोच रहे थे एक दिन. I want to know how to maintain the evenness of mind in both sukha and dukkha as being a normal human being. One cannot be peaceful in both the situations. So, if we say that we are peaceful in both, then we are not normal human beings. We are abnormal human beings. See, the whole purpose of this is to keep the evenness of mind in both sukha and dukkha. Now, truly speaking, it will go when you stop hating dukkha. The other day, did I not say that when you go to see a film, or even if you read a novel which is tragedy, a tragic novel, why are you reading? Are you not relishing it? The dukkha there, suppose Oliver Twist or so, or say Pathir Pachali I was telling the other days, seeing that, we are shedding tears. Why? Because it is pathos. Now that pathos we are actually enjoying, because it is not related to my life. So we have that impersonality of the vision in that. As such, can you call the pathos to be something to be avoided or hated? Then how are you appreciating that? How are you enjoying that? So by itself, dukkha is not non-enjoyable. Our problem is that dukkha immediately we associate with some development consequence in future, that this will happen, that will happen. Most of the cases, when the husband dies, the wife cries not because of the husband. Ogo amar ki hobe go. Nah. What will happen to me? Not the husband's problem. He has died. So what will happen to me? So if we really stop hating dukkha, then we will find that dukkha comes with lot of enrichment. In Rabindranath's life you can find what he has written everywhere. In his 18 years or so, in a very young age, he has written Maranare tuhu mama shyama saman. On the playing the role of Radha, he is telling that Mrityu is coming to her like the death. And all the descriptions is there. Beautiful. You can see. Because people will not believe that such a boy is writing this poem, he took the name Bhanu Singher Padavali. That means Bhanu Simha name, hearing the name, you will find it's an old man writing. So he took that name. Because otherwise people would not accept. Maranare tuhu mama shyama saman. Oh death, you are like my Shyama, the most beloved. The other poem he has written, Jekeho more diyecho shukho, diyecho tari porichaya, shabare ami nomi. I told the other day also, Jekeho more diyecho dukho, diyecho tari porichaya, shabare ami nomi. Those who have given me sukha, through the sukha they have given me your, O Lord, your touch. And through dukkha also, those who have given me dukkha, through that they have given your touch. So we have to find out his touch in that. That impersonality has to dawn. Otherwise, you can try the usual way. The sukha is only a formation in the mind, in the consciousness. Dukkha is also formation in the mind. I am the revealer of both sukha and dukkha. So, when sukha comes, okay. Dukkha comes, okay. Both are same. Both are my mind. Both are waves in my consciousness. One is a crest, another is a trough. You can try that way also. And not only that, both are me. The other day I will tell something from Yoga Sutra also. That these are all Swagata Bheda. Swagata Bheda means generally we separate thinking that he is different from me. But once we understand that they are in me, they are part of me, that is Swagata Bheda means there is a Bheda, but they are also part of me. Suppose your finger, something is wrong. You may have to cut it, but will you hate it? It will not. Like that, if something is wrong and you consider it to be me, so you may apply any treatment, but you will not be hateful about it. So when the whole world appears to be a Swagata Bheda, that they are all in me, they are all my Atma alone, then all this equality will dawn automatically. Otherwise, there are so many ways that Sukha is also not stable, Dukkha is also not stable. Without Sukha, there is no meaning to Dukkha. Without Dukkha, there is no meaning to Sukha. So both have to be there. Both are together creates the reality. So you have to adjust the both. But all these things you can try something or other. But I think a broader realistic approach is always more fundamental. Why don't you suffer the dukkha? See, when the dukkha has come, why are you refusing to suffer dukkha? That refusal make you hate dukkha or to avoid dukkha, to fear dukkha. If you suffer, it has already come. If you suffer it, you invite it, you welcome it and you suffer it, then you will find that the fear has gone, the hatred has gone, the avoiding tendency has gone. You will start enjoying it. I have a doubt that why this Kshetrajna has forgotten about Kshetra. Why this Kshetrajna, now identified as I, has forgotten about Kshetra. Is it not possible to know all this knowledge just by meditation? The two are different. The first line I did not understand. You have to understand the Kshetrajna, why he has forgotten. Which Kshetrajna? If you are the Kshetrajna, then you have to ask you whether you have forgotten the Kshetra. Which is the condition you are speaking? I am not able to understand. Is it not possible to know all this knowledge just by meditation? If so, why should one depend on the external knowledge through these panchendriyas? It is not properly formed. Is it not possible to know all this knowledge by meditation? No, knowledge cannot come only through meditation. Meditation will give you an experience. Samadhi is an experience, it is a state. So unless you are able to understand what Samadhi means, knowledge will not dawn. So knowledge needs a certain understanding of the buddhi. Samadhi will give you the experience. You may repeatedly go into Samadhi. That is what many of the sages and saints do also. You get a piece, you come out, you are again in the same soup. With a little difference, of course. There will be difference. But it will not give you the knowledge normally, unless you activate, because knowledge has to dawn in the buddhi. Without application of the buddhi, the knowledge will not dawn. But the experience will be there. You will understand what is that I will get, that Nirvikalpa Samadhi. You will know what the consciousness is. That experience of that will be there. But to understand that this is I and this is what it is, etc., that understanding will not dawn without actually exerting the buddhi. If so, why should one depend on the external knowledge through these panchendriyas? See, other than the panchendriyas, what external knowledge is there? What knowledge is there? All knowledges are through panchendriyas, except this aparoksha knowledge, through which we know that I have a mind, I am, and finally the I, the consciousness. All others are panchendriya knowledges. So this question is not very clear to me. If the all-pervading consciousness is God or Brahman or the ultimate truth, and there is no such thing as an individual soul, how could Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa choose only Naren, Swami Vivekananda, among so many people coming to him and identify him as a progressed soul and as somebody who would lead his disciple after his passing away. No, the two are different. When it is all pervading consciousness, there is no Srishti at all. It is Nishkriya Brahma. When there is creation, we are talking about Narendranath or Ramakrishna or anything. It is under the creation. Creation means differences, variety. Without variety, there cannot be any creation. Seeing Narendranath's personality, Ramakrishna Dev felt whatever he felt. He may call it that Narendra is an evolved soul. That is different. But the fact is that his personality was evolved. His mind, his personality was evolved. So it is not an evolution of the soul in the real sense. Soul cannot change at all. Soul is always the same. There you cannot conceive of any change. Whatever modification, changes take place, by itself the change means it is visible, it is perceptible, it is an object before the revealer. So any change is an object. So soul cannot undergo any change at all. When we come to know that we are immortal, no change has taken place in the soul. The changes have all taken place in our mind, emotion, intelligence, in our personality complex. Any change taking place, it is to do with the Sharira, our seat of experience, our mind, intelligence complex. The soul never can undergo any change, because the moment you say change, that change has to be perceptible. It becomes in the objective field. It's not the subject. The subject is revealing all the changes of the universe. See, this confusion will not go unless you do some manana. Suppose the radio's transistor sets are there, and from the station the radio waves are coming. You tune it and the sound you are hearing from here. Jamshedpur station, somebody is singing, the sound is produced by the radio. Now, suppose a circuit breaks in the radio. Immediately, the sound will go. You will not be able to hear anymore anything. Has anything happened to the propagating electromagnetic waves coming from the station? So, Atma is like the electromagnetic wave propagating. It is only in the association of the transistor, in the association of the body, it is getting manifest and showing up as our consciousness, as I had discussed yesterday, that the reflected beam of the mirror, I had explained with that illustration. That reflected beam, if the mirror breaks there, suppose the same example, mirror example, when the mirror breaks, the reflected beam will go. So that reflected beam is the breaking of the mirror is our death, like our death. Nothing happens to the light which was coming from here. So as long as we identify with the reflected beam, that this beam is what I am, you will feel that I am dying. The mirror will break and I will die. But when you identify that this is not the real light, the light is coming from here, the reflected part is only from my body, then we will think that the body will fall, but I will remain forever immortal. And my eye is not different from others' eyes. That eye is only one, or not even one, it is transcendental. I can give illustrations, but unless you do manana, it will not become clear, because we always confuse with the religious concepts and spiritual concepts. Religious concepts are elementary models given to us for keeping the society on track. When we start exploring the truth, we have to outlive those concepts and go to the real truth. And more we progress, it will become different. Say the moon, from here it looks a brilliant orb. But when you come closer to the moon, and when you finally get down onto the moon, it's all different. Anything is like that. Even in science it is like that. As you progress, it goes on changing. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nitya bodhasvarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi. प्रबुद्धं विमुक्तं विकारादिहीनं प्रसन्नं सदा नित्यबोधस्वरूपं परं निश्चलं निर्गुणं सर्वरूपं भजेऽहं सदानुस्मरामि प्रणौमि.